Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Compound Interesting. This is Emil, and in today's video we're doing something a little bit different. We're not looking at the stock market. I want to share with you a business opportunity that me and a couple of friends did when we started when we were 17 and finished up when we were around 22. But we earned a fair bit of money and it was really fun, and yeah, you can make a good bit of money and it's great crack. This is something that's perfect for younger people, so anywhere from 18 upwards, so you have to be 18 pretty much, but you can do it if you're a bit older as well. So I think this is a really great business opportunity for a young person, one of the best out there, and I haven't seen it on YouTube once before, so I don't think this is a very common side hustle thing that's touted on YouTube or anywhere in the business community at all. But it's not easy to actually, it takes a lot of work, but it's not impossible either. It is kind of easy in the fact that it's fun and that anyone can do it basically, but it does take a lot of work, but it's doable at the same time, if you know what I mean. This business opportunity isn't for everyone. I'll go through at the end what kind of person you need to be able to implement this business, but I think this opportunity or this idea can open your mind and perhaps inspire you to go down this path and try this business or do something else. It might open your mind to different side hustles that you could potentially do in the future. So with all that said, let's go for the big reveal. And the way that I made money when I was starting from when I was 17, but what really started kicking off when I was like 19, 20 was running club nights or club events. So I'm going to give you a brief overview on how I got into running club events, how me and my friends started doing it, all the successes and failures and all the different nights that we ran, and then finally I'll explain exactly how much money we made and exactly how you can do it and what kind of person you need to be able to do it. So with all that said, let's get cracking. Alright, before we get going, I just ask that you smash the thumbs up button nice and early, get the small channel off the ground, subscribe for kind of finance videos, investing videos mostly, if you haven't already. And because I'm a small channel, make sure you hit the notification bell, because it probably won't appear in your newsfeed unless you hit the notification bell. So let's get cracking exactly on how I got into running club nights, how me and my friends got into it. I'm not going to go full step by step absolutely everything on how to run a club night, but if you're interested in me making that video, let me know in the comments and I'll make that video if there's enough interest. But I'm not going to go crazy in depth on all the different technicalities on how to run a club night. I'm just going to give you the overview to get your brain juices flowing. So basically, I live in Dublin. There's a good party community here, lots of clubbing and techno nights, all that kind of stuff. Europe is usually good for this kind of stuff. I don't know about every country in the world, what the party scene is like, but I'm sure when you're 17, you don't really know what it's like. So we were very young when we started, but we saw people in the years ahead of us, like lads that we kind of knew, a couple of years ahead of us, 2 or 3 years ahead of us, doing it, making money and doing really well and having a lot of fun and being the cool guys that were running the club nights and being the DJs and all. So my friend said he was interested in doing something similar, and I was like, oh please, can I join? I'd love to do that as well. That sounds so fun. I'm on board. So before we knew it, we were coming up with a name, we were contacting clubs. So basically I sent out, I don't know, 20 emails to all the cool clubs, and I didn't know I was only 20 years old, or sorry, I was only 17 years old, emailing these clubs trying to see what the story was. I didn't really know how it worked, but I just went for it and emailed these clubs. Eventually one club got back to me, which was, at the time, it was actually the coolest club, it was the best club, the Twisted Pepper, if anyone in Dublin remembers that. Yeah, great club. But anyway, they got back to us and yeah, we booked the night for like 4 months in advance. Started coming up with a name, we wanted to do it for our end of exams party. So we would have been 18 once the club night actually happened. There's no way we'd go to clubs under the age of 18. We'd never use a fake ID or anything like that. But yeah, the plan was to have it for our end of exams, end of our leaving cert, what it's called, end of our school exams, end of school, have a big party in a club, and we'd take commission at the door. So I think it was €5 to €7. We'd take all the commission, we'd pay rent to the club for the night, and we'd keep any of the leftovers and we'd pay the DJs. So yeah, we had to learn all this stuff. We had to learn how to make posters. Came up with the name. So the name was Episode. So the first one was called Episode 1. So it took us a long time to come up with that name, but I thought it was a cool name in the end. So then we had to find a DJ. We eventually got a DJ. But then that club cancelled on us because they were scared there was going to be a lot of 17-year-olds turning up, and obviously 17-year-olds can't get into clubs. So they cancelled on us. Then a couple of weeks before we found a new club. Then on the night of the club, the new club again cancelled on us on the night, so we had to find a new club that night, which was crazy stressful, but we managed to do it, and we found some DJ and we got it together, and yeah, the night was good crack. It was mostly just our close friends, and we each made €50, so nothing amazing, but when you're 17, you've done this club night and everyone's like, oh, that's so cool, and blah 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 blah. But just to make you aware, young people, you have an amazing asset for being young. You have the asset of having all these friends who are they don't really know anything about clubbing. They don't know which are the cool clubs yet. So if you're the person who creates the club night, they're just going to follow you and go to wherever you're setting up the club, wherever the club night is, because they don't really know where to go. And then they just get invited to the event on Facebook. So that's probably the best way. That's the way we got the most people to go, was promoting our event on Facebook. Facebook was the big thing at the time. Maybe, I don't know, you can promote it on new social media networks now like Instagram or TikTok, but Facebook was the one at the time. So we tried to get as many people to interact with our Facebook event as possible, so making them post on the Facebook event for cheap list. So if you post on the event, you get €2 off on the entry. So we signed off their names or whatever. Actually, I'm getting a bit too technical here, but just to make you aware, that's probably the best way to start, is using Facebook events and leveraging your friend network of young 18-year-olds who are just getting into clubbing, because when you're 18 and you're finally allowed to go to clubs, they're the people who go to the clubs the most. 18-year-olds are the ones who go to the clubs the most, because when you start to get to my age, 24, I'm 24 now, I very rarely go to clubs anymore. You gradually start going to clubs less and less and less, as you kind of get like bored of them almost. You go to them every once in a while, but when you're 18, you just want to go every single weekend. Well, I know I did anyway, but the next event was in that first cool club that got back to me first, the Twisted Pepper, and they let us run our night. So this was the second one, and we didn't get as many people to go, so we ended up losing money. But because that club was pretty sound, they were friendly people, they let us off the rent. Well, the rent that we owed or whatever. They were just like, oh, that's fine, don't worry about it. You had a bad night, it's okay. So that one wasn't as much of a success. But then we did another one a few months later, and that was our first big shift into, oh, this is actually working now. And we sold the place out, and it was a bigger venue, it was a different venue, it was a really big venue. So there's over 1,000 people, there was a queue down the road, and it was completely sold out, and we made a small fortune. When you're 18 years old, we made over €1,000 each in one night, which is, at the time, is the most money you ever can imagine. Right now, maybe it's not that much, but €1,000 in a night, not bad. But obviously, it's not just a night. Running a club night is actually quite a lot of work, and to get all those people to go, it's stressful and it's a lot of work, but the reward is really, really fun, because I was starting to become a DJ, and even DJing to all these people. It was great crack and selling out a place, and everyone's having great fun, and then you get the bonus of making all the money at the end. Then our fourth night, we kind of got cocky. We're like, oh, we sold the place out, we can just do that, rinse and repeat, do it the same thing again. We did step it up a little, added some new cool features, but for some reason, I think it's because we started marketing too early for the fourth event, this was now, and not as many people showed up. Yeah, very, very few people showed up, and it was in the big club again, and we ended up losing money again, and that club made us pay the money that we lost. So that was a bit shit, but yeah, after that, then we kind of found our stride, and we were kind of averaging about 400 a night every few months. We just went for one event every couple of months, and then we kind of just let it go. We kind of finished it up as people started. I think when I came into my third year of college, we started getting more serious with university and less serious with clubbing all the time, as well as our peers weren't so interested in clubbing all the time either. So I think we stopped doing it after third year. but we got a good few years out of it, and we ran a club night every couple of months. But you could definitely do this much more frequently and try and just get, like, there's plenty of club nights in Dublin anyway that would be weekly or every other week and would get a large number of people, and you could make a full-time wage on doing that easily. And it's pretty fun if you're interested in music or clubbing scene at all, or the party scene. So let's just go through what kind of person it helps to be, or what kind of things you can do to help try and get people to go to your event. Because at the end of the day, if you want to make money out of this, you need people to show up and pay the entry price. Now I know it's kind of different in different countries, because I was going to run an event in Canada, in Vancouver, when I was living there for the summer, and they had a different system. So rather than renting the club and then getting people to pay in on the door, it was some different system where I paid like 4,000 as a deposit, and then if 4,000 euros worth of drink was bought at the bar, then I'd get any of the extra on top of that, or something weird anyway. And that was the reason I didn't do it in Canada, because it was just like, there was more risk involved, because $4,000 is a lot to deposit, and I didn't want to risk that when I was over in Canada with no safety net at all, really. So I wish I had done it, actually, to be honest. I probably would have pulled it off and it would have been good fun, but I didn't. I bottled it, and you kind of always regret the things you don't do. So if you're interested in doing this, really look into it and maybe just go for it. Like, you regret the things you don't do more than the things you do. So, fuck it, just go for it if you want to do it, because I regret not doing it over there. It would have been so much fun and I could have pulled it off. But anyway, that's getting a bit sidetracked. But what kind of person do you need to be? Well, preferably, obviously, it's nice if you have a lot of friends, or if you're kind of popular, if you're a real extroverted person. And me and the three lads that I was doing with, none of us were really that popular or really that extroverted. So we're kind of average guys, just normal guys. So that's not a requisite, but it can help, it can help. Because I know one of my real popular friends kind of took our idea and did it himself, and did really, really well, because he was really extroverted, talked to everyone in university, everyone knew him, so he did really well because he had a big name. He was kind of a popular guy or whatever. It also helps if you're kind of in the music scene, or if you're interested in music or DJing, or even creating your own music. Like, you don't have to go down the house and techno route that we did. Like, if you're not a DJ, you could even be a live performer of, I don't know, a band. You could organize local live music events of like upcoming young bands, if you're more involved in that kind of indie scene or whatever. But I just want to open your mind that this is the route we did, but try and think of it in your own terms. What kind of things are you interested in? Another couple of tips, it's really good to get people click attending on your Facebook event, because then it kind of gives all that social proof that, oh look, all these people are going that I know, I'm going to click attending as well. And then it's kind of a networking event, snowball. And if you get loads of people attending, it looks really good, and loads of people interacting with your event, that kind of can make it go a bit viral. So all the really big events that we did had that effect. You can also sell tickets if you're worried that, you can sell tickets for a cheaper price on Eventbrite is what we used. So if you were worried that it kind of just locks in some money and forces people to not bail on it on the night, so you have that. So sell it for like 70% of the price that someone entering would pay at the door. Sell the tickets, so they've locked in and they're definitely going. And I think this is like, everyone, you're probably thinking, this is what are you talking about? All the clubs are closed now. This is COVID-19. I think there's a pent up demand for people to go out clubbing, because I know I'm not really a huge partier anymore, but because I'm being cooped up, I haven't had a drink out or gone to see a live DJ in months. Like, I think there's a real pent up demand for that. And if you're just starting out, if you're just 18 now, or 21 if you're in America, you could be the guy who's creating the post-lockdown event that everyone wants to go to. This could potentially be a really, really good time to start preparing, because now you have a few months to work out everything, learn how to market, learn how to spread the word, and email clubs and get DJs, or even learn how to DJ or whatever. Hire lighting equipment. Yeah, we had strobes, we had lights. There's a lot that goes into it, or that can go into it. You can keep it simple, or you can get really, really creative. It's kind of up to you. But yeah, now could be the time to start looking into it anyway. And yeah, I kind of mentioned that our fourth night didn't do so well, and I think it's because we started marketing the event like a little bit too early. Well, way too early. It kind of helps if you just kind of market pretty much like maybe 2 weeks from the event, or just 1 week from the event. So there's that kind of snowball of really rapid FOMO of everyone commenting on the event or attending the event, or a lot of talk about it in group chats or mouth to mouth. Word of mouth is the king in this industry, so you want word of mouth to be really, really strong. And if everyone's like, oh, on Tuesday and your event's on Thursday or Friday, you want everyone to be talking about it on Monday, and it really to just blow up just a few days before, so people get excited, and the excitement doesn't have time to fade, and people then bailing and not really being bothered when the time actually comes. So kind of helps to just have it just before. Yeah, so all in all, this is a really, really fun business, but it's not easy. It's quite stressful in the fact that you don't know how many people are coming up. You don't know if you're going to lose money or make a fortune on the night. It's all up in the air, but it's kind of a perfect business for starting out. So if you like this kind of video, I also tried to start a Shopify store last year. I put a lot of effort into creating an MMA clothing brand. So if you're interested in hearing my story about the Shopify, let me know in the comments. And if you want to hear more about exactly how to run a club night, let me know that in the comments as well. And if there's interest, I'll bring out that part 2 video. Just say like part 2, please, comment that, and then I'll know. So I really hope I opened up your mind to some new possibilities as a side hustle for someone in college or just coming out of school. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And I really can't wait to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers.